you're watching the news with me, Shivangi Shukla. Let's have a quick look at the top headlines this hour. Despite stalking and hounding a girl, Haryana Neta's son gets bail as cops water down charges for the VIP brat. Crucial CCTV footage goes missing.
ये आपकी अप्रीहेंशन है, हमारे ऊपर कोई किसी तरह का दबाव नहीं है। अगर ऐसी कोई बात होती तो सेम डे FIR क्यों रजिस्टर?
Chandigarh police denies being under pressure, says investigations underway and do not make a media trial. A VIP Neta's arrogance cost a life in Haryana. BJP leader Darshan Nagpal blocks the road and forces an ambulance driver to apologize for brushing past him. Patient dies in the ensuing scuffle. A son returns home from US only to find his dead mother's skeleton in her house in Mumbai. The 63-year-old widow was living alone and was allegedly depressed. Hazardous materials used for making crude bombs have been seized from a garage in Thane. 9 detonators and 10 kg ammonium nitrate were nabbed by Thane police. 3 arrested so far.
Stop your bullet trains in the country. We don't require. First to save the life of the citizens in the country. We are coming to the Jantar Mantar. We will make the Delhi to listen to us.
Civic negligence claims 3 lives in the national capital. 3 sanitation workers die after inhaling toxic gases while cleaning the sewers. Kerala High Court orders BCCI to lift the lifetime ban imposed on cricketer S. Sreesanth in the 2013 IPL spot fixing case. Our top story, it's a classic case of VIPs making a mockery of the law. 2 days after he allegedly stalked a girl, the BJP Neta's son stopped her car and even tried to abduct her. Vikas Barala, a son of BJP Haryana chief Subhash Barala, roamed scot-free. He was arrested on Saturday after the victim, who is the daughter of an IAS officer, filed a complaint. Medical reports confirmed that the accused was allegedly in an intoxicated state when he followed the girl for nearly 9 kilometers. Nevertheless, neither Barala nor his companion have been charged with drunken driving. His attempt to abduct the victim has also been dropped from the charge sheet. In fact, sources say the police not only watered down the charges, but also gave him VVIP treatment in the police lockup. Not only this, CCTV footage of the incident is apparently missing, in spite of the complainant's claim that there were 6 to 7 CCTV cameras on the way.
Now, there are contradictory views that are coming in. Now, the police is also saying that you've changed your statement in 164 and the FIR. Now, they're saying that earlier in the FIR, it was clear that there was a kidnap and outrage of modesty of the girl. Now you're saying that there was no kidnap. That is what the police is claiming. Is the police right?
I never used the word except on my Facebook post. As far as the legal statement is concerned and like all the legal statements that I've given are concerned, I used exactly what happened, the truth, the facts. These guys started harassing me here. This is exactly what they did. This is when I called the cops. This is when the cops caught them.
What exactly happened that night?
See, now the details are everywhere, but in short, they kept trying to block me in, trying to get me to slow down or stop, trying to scare me into stopping. Twice they got out of the car. And the final time, they got to the car, banged on the window, and the guy tried to open the door. That is when the cops showed up. So I was lucky that the cops showed up. But, so yeah, you know, when you look at all of these facts put together, the conclusion that I draw is that they wanted to abduct me. What else did they want? It's not like they want to have a conversation. So I feel like they wanted to abduct me. Now, what conclusion the police draws or the law draws is up to them. I cannot claim to, dictate what conclusion they draw.
Shoddy investigation of the police has been questioned by the opposition, that why have they still not recovered the CCTV footages? Why is that they made a U-turn in terms of the section that were put in the case? So clearly a lot of questions need to be answered by the police. Is there a pressure being put by political parties in order to dilute the case, is the question that has been asked by the opposition. Relatives of the Barar family are even going and shamming the victim for coming out and complaining against them to the police. They are also putting out pictures of her and shamming her on the social media clearly. But what the serious situation here is that how the accused in both the accused in the case were given the bailable, have been put in the bailable charge, and both of them are roaming scot-free.
In fact, Chandigarh police denies being under pressure, says investigations underway. Let's listen in.
इस केस को इन्वेस्टिगेट करते हुए हमें सिर्फ 3 दिन हुए हैं।
सर, यदि आम व्यक्ति होता तो उसके बारे में भी यही पुलिस सारा सिस्टम अडॉप्ट करती।
सर देखिए, ये आपकी अप्रीहेंशन है, हमारे ऊपर कोई किसी तरह का दबाव नहीं है। अगर ऐसी कोई बात होती तो सेम डे FIR क्यों रजिस्टर। हम हर कैमरा, जो एक कैमरा है उस रोड पे, सबको एनालाइज कर रहे हैं। जब हमारा टेक्निकल एनालिसिस कंप्लीट हो जाएगा तो मैं आपको बिल्कुल बताऊंगा। मैं नहीं कह सकता मैम अभी।
You think that Chandigarh police is under pressure and there is some manipulation?
सर देखिए, मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा। उसकी वजह है 2 जो कि बिल्कुल फैक्ट हैं। एक तो कि सेम रात में बिल्कुल प्रॉम्प्टली हमने FIR रजिस्टर की, बिल्कुल प्रॉम्प्टली हमने अक्यूज को पकड़ा। अगर कोई ऐसी बात होती तो ये शायद एक्शन नहीं।
And joining me on the phone line is Randeep Surjewala, Congress leader. Mr. Surjewala, you have leveled serious charges against the state BJP chief. Could you take us through that?
The entire episode smacks of political interference and an attempt to hush up and cover on part of a direction received from BJP at the center. For UT administration and Chandigarh police, they are both manned by none less than the Home Ministry, as we all know. Why is an attempt being made to hush up? 2 facts are extremely clear, contrary to what your superintendent of police was saying on your channel. Firstly, there was a press conference done by the investigating officer Satish Kumar, DSP East, at 2:30 in the afternoon, wherein he clearly said that it's a case of abduction, attempt to commit an offense, as also attempt to outrage modesty of a woman. And he also went on to say, which video we have released, that it is punishable with 7 to 10 years imprisonment. At 5 o'clock, exactly 2.5 hours thereafter, the same police officer Satish Kumar does a press conference and say, this is a bailable offense of stalking and wrongful restraint, and we are accordingly registering an FIR, which is an FIR that is under bailable offences. Within 10 hours thereafter, in fact 6 hours thereafter, they proceed to release the accused. Tell me what happened between 2:30 in the afternoon and 5 in the afternoon. Yes, a direction came from Union BJP leadership to hush up the matter and to brush it under the carpet. These are the uncontestable facts. And what is it that, how come 5 or 6 CCTV cameras, their footage has suddenly gone missing? So A, you don't lodge an FIR under a correct section, despite the victim, that is the girl, saying that she was being kidnapped, and much more worse things could have happened had they sort of entered her car, which they tried to. You chase a girl for 7 kilometers in a car. You try to stop her car multiple times. You try to enter her car by forcing open the door. Please also remember that the police only caught up after 7 kilometers chase. That also in the safest city of the country like Chandigarh. So instead of backpatting themselves, UT administration and Chandigarh police and BJP should tell who's the one in Delhi, who's the one in union government who's attempting to influence this entire investigation.
Mr. Surjewala, as of now, what are your demands from the BJP?
The demands are rather simple. First, register the FIR according to the statement made before magistrate under 164 CRPC by this brave girl. And it's a case, straightaway case of abduction and attempt to outrage modesty under section 365 and 354 and 511 of Indian Penal Code. Why are they not doing it? Why is it that the accused are on bail while they should be in jail? Secondly, where has the evidence disappeared? Before even registering a case, the CCTV footage is gone. Who is destroying evidence? And that evidence needs to be recovered, restored so that it can be used in a trial. Thirdly, it's a straightaway case of political influence being used, not only by Government of Haryana, but from the Home Ministry of Government of India. So for heaven's sake, the father who is influencing the investigation must go, as also other people in the BJP leadership who are trying to hush up the matter must be probed and exposed.
Right. Also, what is the Congress planning to do right now to make sure that this girl gets justice?
Congress party doesn't feel it's a bipartisan political issue. Yes, we will take it up as citizens of this country. I think it's an issue of a Neta's son being protected by the ruling dispensation from state to the center. We will protest alongside all NGOs and social organizations. We will ensure inside the assembly, inside the parliament, outside the assembly, that adequate pressure is put on the police as also on the government of the day at the center, which swears by probity and transparency while acts the opposite, to ensure that guilties are punished. Nobody wants to hang somebody without an appropriate trial. But the important issue is to first register an FIR, first be honest about it, first ensure that the lost evidence is recovered and the responsibility is fixed for political intervention to protect the accused.
Right, Mr. Surjewala. In fact, BJP's Jawahar Yadav claims that the responsibility does not lie with state BJP head Subhash Barala. He also questioned the complainant's statements and claimed there were discrepancies in her version. What is your reaction to that?
Two things. First, why is Chief Minister Shri Manohar Lal Khattar issuing clean chits and certificates even before an appropriate registration of FIR? Does it not prove that a sitting chief minister of a state, Chandigarh being its capital, is trying to influence investigation? Why should he be doing so? This is the same chief minister who said, if girls want freedom, they should walk around naked. That's the kind of mentality that we have. Why is it that the two IC in the BJP, the vice president of state BJP, tries to insinuate about the girl and say that girls should not go out at night? Is that the new direction of the Modi government and Bharatiya Janata Party? Thirdly, we all know that UT administration is finally governed by the Home Ministry. And who runs Home Ministry? The same former BJP president who, when a similar incident happened, when a Haryana Congress senior minister's son had a mishap, and he was consequently booked for murder, he demanded the resignation. Congress adhered to that demand of the people, and we accepted it. Why are you now using double standards when your own leaders are involved?
Right. Also, there has been a shocking rise of cases of violence against women in Haryana. As a responsible opposition, how are you going to ensure that all women get a chance at justice in the state?
Under BJP's watch, in fact, I completely concur with you that the rise is not only shocking of violence against women, it's preposterous. The manner and fashion in which we saw a case worse than the Nirbhaya case, where a girl was not only gang raped for days together, but her body was mutilated, including her private parts. Her head was crushed and she was fed to dogs for 2 days before police came into action. Only the other day, a Dalit girl who was gang raped, her brother has also been murdered. And the entire family in Sonipat feels that they are now in danger of losing their life also. And every day you see in Haryana, either you find a gang rape in Gurgaon or in Faridabad or anywhere else, with government and the chief minister, who is also the home minister, knowing little as to what to do. Is this the way we are going to treat law and order? In fact, even courts in Haryana are not safe. About 24 incidents have happened where there has been firing by organized gangs in the premises of the courts, where gangsters have been killed, where civilians have been hurt. Organized gang and their rackets are flourishing under the nose of the government. Who's responsible for all this?
Yes, in fact, there has been an incident reported from Fatehabad where a BJP neta allegedly held up an ambulance causing the patient's death. Your comments on that?
BJP president of Municipal Council of Fatehabad. First, they had an accident with an ambulance. Then they detained the ambulance, resulting into the death of the patient. This shows that absolute arrogance, absolute power has gone to the head of Bharatiya Janata Party. Just because they have the numbers, that doesn't mean that they can play with the life and honor of people. They need to understand that. Because arrogance is always met in democracy by a decimation of that arrogance, because the power ultimately lies with the people. Will the Bharatiya Janata Party government register a case of manslaughter, at least against this BJP president who's president of the Municipal Council of Fatehabad? That's the least that is required, and we demand so.
Mr. Surjewala, do you think we need laws where drivers could be penalized to ensure ambulances get right of way?
Absolutely. In fact, if you would see that during the previous Congress government's tenure, such instructions were issued. Supreme Court has spoken umpteen number of times. Social, NGOs and other socially aware groups have spoken about it. I think many channels have run such campaigns that ambulances should also always have a right to way. But what do you do to BJP Municipal Council presidents who detain ambulance because one vehicle touched the other? What do you do to unguided netas who in little or big power are so drunk that they are unable to see that a valuable life can be lost, which is irreplaceable? And I think the only way forward is to take criminal action of manslaughter against such people, for this will become a lesson to others.
Referring to your earlier observations on the stalking case, are you alleging that the BJP is indulging in victim shaming?
BJP is running a concerted campaign to hush up the matter. As Shri Rajnath Singh himself said when the entire Modi Gate issue happened, what resignations? We don't have resignations in BJP, for they don't believe in accountability to either people or to issues raised through media or otherwise. They believe that they have unbridled, unguided right to do as they wish with the life of the people, with the honor of our children. Let me also take this opportunity to commend that brave heart, that young girl who stood against the entire system, against Neta's children's gundagardi, as also her father and parents, both parents, who stood up and said, we will fight for the rights and honor of our children. For girls or boys, they have equal rights, and they have rights to go where they wish, and they have rights to wear what they want, and nobody in the world can really control it. So I think we are not living in 17th century Talibani society, as some people are making out to be. This is a free democratic country, and you can't control the life of the children in this fashion.
Right. So do you feel that the BJP is indulging in victim shaming? Is that a clear yes or no from your part?
Absolutely they are. They are trying to, what they are trying to do currently is that they are trying to pressurize this girl. They are also trying to pressurize the family. I think the first and foremost thing should be done is to provide adequate security, ensure justice and fair play, ensure a fair investigation, ensure a proper registration of FIR, arrest of the accused persons, and let BJP come out and say, yes, we intervened in the investigation to hush up the matter. We are sorry. We are going to fix responsibility for whoever has called the administration to do so. The officers who are involved in the process would be investigated and punished, and the accused persons would be dealt with strictly in accordance with law.
Right, Mr. Surjewala. Thank you for joining us on Mirror Now. That was Randeep Surjewala. He was giving his views on the son of the BJP Haryana chief Subhash Barala, who is right now, there was a complaint against him that he was trying to abduct a daughter of an IAS officer in Chandigarh. Moving on, let's quickly run you through some of the other news from across the nation. BJP-led protests against the AIADMK in Chennai today, this demanding a ban on local liquor shops. Apart from this, the BJP is also demanding improvement in standard of education in government schools across the state. A shocking event occurred in Pune when a man tried to murder his wife in broad daylight. 30-year-old man dragged his wife by the hair and stabbed her in an open plot in Pune. Eyewitnesses called the police in time, making it narrow escape for death for the wife. She was later rushed to the hospital. Narmada Bachao Andolan leader Medha Patkar in an indefinite strike for the 12th day. Her demand is that the government of Madhya Pradesh provides rehabilitation to the families in the Narmada Valley who have been affected by the Sardar Sarovar Dam. As many as 40,000 families living in around 190 villages will be affected. A Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist was killed in an encounter in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir late last night. The slain terrorist has been identified as Umar, a Pakistani member of the Lashkar. An AK-47 was recovered in the encounter. As monsoon continues to wreak havoc all across the country, 2 children were killed after a cloudburst in Kullu, Himachal Pradesh. Flash floods caused due to non-stop rains have destroyed homes and continues to claim lives. Moving on to the national capital, where civic apathy led to the death of 40-year-old Usha Chauhan. She was crushed to death under a tanker after her husband lost control of his bike because of a pothole on a PWD-maintained road at Khanjalawala village in Outer Delhi late Friday night. At a time when the Maharashtra government has taken up a task of planting 4 crore trees, the BMC shockingly permitted to cut down 7 trees daily on an average. Activists are against this step as they feel that authorities cut trees in places where it is not required but ignore genuine requests for felling trees that pose danger to the citizens. Moving on, civic negligence has claimed 3 lives in the national capital. 3 sanitation workers suffocated to death while cleaning a drain in southeast Delhi's Lajpat Nagar. The 4 sanitation workers battling for life and remains extremely critical. Meanwhile, the government has ordered an inquiry into the incident, while the Delhi Jal Board has claimed that the 3 deceased were neither the employees nor authorized to carry out the sewer cleaning job. Initial investigations also revealed that no safety gear or equipment was used by these laborers.
Shocking case of civic negligence in Lajpat Nagar area in the national capital. 3 sewer drain cleaners were killed while on duty, and we know that Delhi government has banned manual scavenging since 2013. However, we also are aware that when these men entered into the drain to clean it, they were not even given a safety belt so that they could be easily pulled out of the drain in case of an emergency. At this point of time, the contractor who had sent them for this particular work in Lajpat Nagar is on the run, and police has registered an FIR and is looking for the contractor at this point of time. In New Delhi, this is Milan Sharma for Mirror Now.
They have given the contractor to the contract to do these people. So ultimately the government is the responsible. Each death happened in this country, almost like past 5 years, it is the 1,470 deaths. The governments are killing my people in the sewer line and septic tank. The government is the culprit. The Chief Minister, Prime Minister must be put under the SC/ST Atrocities Act. Then only they will answer. My only question is to country and the nation is, they have not even arrested even a single person for 1,470 deaths in the country. What the government is doing, whichever government, what the police are doing, why the judges are sitting quiet. No judge is taking the suo moto, and when it is coming and everybody is saying that we are not responsible, we are not saying that this is just kind of a accidental death or something like. And they are saying that we are not responsible. And they are not putting, even they put the case under some sections now. After a few days, they are removing that and relieving the contractors, and the officers are not responsible. So I must say very clearly, whoever is officer in charge for this area, he is the first, number one, the culprit. Then number two is the contractor. Number three is the Delhi Jal Board, and the Chief Minister and the Indian Prime Minister is the responsible. You cannot kill the people like this. You can't give the speech in the Red Fort without answering the deaths of these innocent people. And happen to be the Dalits, and all are the scheduled caste belongs. So you must give the answer, and you must say that when are you going to stop? Stop your bullet trains in the country. We don't require. First to save the life of the citizens in the country. We are coming to the Jantar Mantar. We will make the Delhi to listen to us.
4 लोग आए थे, 3 लेबर थी और उसमें एक ठेकेदार था। तीनों ढक्कन खोले, ठीक है, उसमें से एक गया और एक पानी लेने चला गया। 2 थे उसमें से ऊपर, एक हिला, वो मतलब गिर के ऐसे हिला। दूसरा गया, दूसरा भी ऐसे ही हो गया, वो भी हिलने लगा। चौथे को मतलब रस्सी बांध के भेजा, तीसरे को वो भी ऐसे ही हो गया, वो भी गिर गया। उतने में पुलिस वाले आ गए, तो मतलब चौथा बंदा गया, वो भी हिलने लग गया था।
तो 3 बंदे, दो बंदे रिक्शे में बैठे हुए थे। मैंने उनसे पूछा यहाँ पे तुम कैसे काम कर रहे हो? पहले तो बोला कि हम प्राइवेट हैं, फिर बोलता हम सरकारी हैं। फिर उन्होंने
संडे के दिन सरकारी कर्मचारी तो आते नहीं है,
नहीं आते हैं उन्होंने, लेकिन मेरे को ये बोला। लेकिन फिर मेरे को उन्होंने बोला कि हम यहाँ पे गटर खोलने आए हैं। मैंने फिर गटर कैसे खोलो? कह रहे सामने गाड़ी है, उससे खोलेंगे। जब मैंने उन्होंने गटर खोला हुआ, जब मैंने देखा तो बहुत ही गहरा गटर था। तो मैंने आगे देखने का तो बहुत ही गहरा गटर था। फिर मैंने उनसे पूछा फिर कैसे करो?
यहाँ पे जो ये गड्ढा है, इसको जब उन्होंने खोला तो क्या उनके पास कोई मास्क था? कुछ बहुत लोग बता रहे हैं कि जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर था वो भाग गए।
हाँ जी, जो वहाँ पे थे उनके पास कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, मास्क वगैरह कुछ नहीं था। बाकी तो खोलने वाला सारे औजार थे, बाकी मास्क वगैरह कुछ नहीं था उनके पास।
सफाई कर्मचारी वाले थे, वो गटर खोल के गटर की सफाई कर रहा था। थोड़ा माइक नीचे करना। पहला बंदा जो गया था सफाई करने, उसे हम देखे नहीं। हम उधर से जब आ रहे थे, इधर पान खाने के लिए जा रहे थे, तो यहाँ पे भीड़ लगे थे 10-12 बंदे। हम भी रुक गए, क्या हो रहा भाई? तो बोला सफाई करने बंदा गया नीचे, वो निकला नहीं। तो बंदा दिख रहा था इसे, लेकिन वो पानी में डूबा हुआ, यानी वो खत्म ही हो गया। बंदे थे, वो लोग का टीम था 3 उस टाइम। एक गया, दूसरा फिर गया, उसको देखने क्यों नहीं निकल रहा है, वो भी रह गया नीचे, वो भी नीचे रह गया। हाँ, तीसरा भी मेरे सामने उतरा, नहीं जा रहा था। फिर ना करते हुए बोला भाई छटपट कर रहा है नीचे, निकाल ले, ऊपर जाएगा। तीसरा वाला गया, वो भी नीचे ही रह गया।
Well, that's all we have in this bulletin. Keep watching Mirror Now for more news and updates.